Earth building inspired me to do earth building. The first time I tried earth building was in 2001 in Portland, Oregon. And I got my hands in the mud and I never looked back. I'm a conventional builder anyway, carpenter, and working with mud and natural materials for me just such an amazing feeling. And so then, sharing that knowledge feels like a natural next step.
And for me, as a kid, I always said, I grew up in a raised ranch, white jib walls and everything, and I always said, someday I'm going to live in a house that is round. And I lived in the suburbs of Massachusetts. There was no round houses or anything like that. All the other houses looked like my house, and people would say, there's no such thing as a round house. And then at the Village Building Convergence, when I got my hands in the mud and I started sculpting, I'm a sculptor, and I started sculpting an angel bench, I was hooked. And then we started building things, and I realized how accessible it is. And I realized, wow, not only am I going to live in a round house, but I can make it myself. And that was just like this whole, John's a builder, I'm not a builder, but now I'm a builder, at least of a sort. And it's really empowering. And so it feels important to see other people empowered, and also like touching into that place. It feels so natural to have your hands in the mud, to be building with mud. And we've been some people have been sculpting today, and it's like we had to kind of pull them away from it and tell them to go home because it just feels so good and so natural. And I feel the kid come out in me, but it feels like anything's possible. And in a world where we've heard no more than we've heard yes sometimes, this is a big yes for folks, and so that's why I'm excited about it. I love it.
Well, I think in terms of the bigger picture, something I love about natural building is that it's quite kind of low skill on some levels, and it's quite accessible to a lot of people. And there's a trade-off for that low technology and that slower building process, which is needing more hands on deck and more people on a project, which then helps create a community in a, if you've got several dozen people working away on a project over a period of weeks or months, this community forms. Like a community is formed here at the Gardens over the last 8 or 9 weeks, however long it's been going on. You can feel the love, you can feel the strength, you can feel the connection among the people in this course and the tutors. And so, and I also like that it sort of says no thank you to the corporate and the legislated prescriptive building requirements that are kind of foisted onto everybody, and people are burdened and saddled with tremendous expense and burden, and natural building is quite cheap, in terms of material. And again, it's the labor that is a big component. But
there's something else too about I think empowering people to think outside the box, because honestly our world cannot support everybody buying a lifestyle block and building their straw bale or earth home either. And actually we need people in the towns and in the cities thinking differently. And even just putting on your jib house, you can put earthen plasters on the inside to feel nicer. It'll change the air quality, it will feel better, and just connecting with the earth. But even just learning some earth building techniques, like we did the Village Building Convergence. We weren't building houses, we were building earthen ovens, and we were building benches and kiosks and walls and public sculptures that people got to get their hands in, and they could walk by it every day. It wasn't someone's private home. It's part of the urban landscape, because it harkens back. It just reminds me of simpler times. So all of a sudden I go home and I want to live differently. I have a different consciousness because I know this exists, and I want to waste less, and I want to do things with more awareness. So I think it ripples out into all sorts of other things, and not just I'm going to build a house out of this, because not everyone can do that, and I still think it's really valuable to be exposed to it. Yeah, and it's ancient. It's like forever ancient. So yeah, it's rare that we get exposed to those things. It's delicious, and I mean, we all become kids again. Kids love to do it, you know, and we were just having a blast today, playing in the mud. So the main takeaway is, I mean, one of the things that, like I've already said, that I think this is really empowering, and when you are actually, like, I've got dirt all over my hands, when you actually get into there and you're doing it, something changes in the body. Something changes when it's like, oh, I can do this. I can do this. I can build. And actually, I'm really excited about those transformations, because that's what we need on the planet. I want everyone to feel empowered, like they can make a difference, they can make a change, they can decide what they want and what they do, and everyone is capable. And it's like, no matter what it is, like, so I can build an earthen bench, but I can also, maybe I could build a bridge then. You know, maybe I could build something else, or maybe I can choose. It's a sudden, like, leap in empowerment. So that's one of the things that I hope comes away, is that everyone feels much more capable to choose for their life, and to be fully there, because this is what this time on the planet needs. It needs us all to be fully who we came to be and use our gifts.
Nice. And also, I think, just to know that there are other choices out there, and other materials and other options for constructing and building, and not having to use, you don't have to use jib. You can do bamboo lath or wood lath, and then do a totally earth wall. Like this wall here is actually, it's light earth, so we had plywood forms on there, and there's straw. This wall is primarily straw dipped in a thin clay slip and compressed and packed into the pockets, and it's been allowed to dry for a little while. And you know, and then today we came back and we put wooden strips across, wood lath, and put this earth plaster over it. And for people to walk out of here knowing that they've got the skills to do that, and the creativity could take them anywhere. Yeah, and so the hope is that this knowledge, that in all the different areas that people are learning about on this course, that it all continues to ripple out wider into the world.